my friend Andrea here. Andrea is a brand spanking new VIPKid teacher. You just passed the mock a few days ago, got all your documents approved, and you are set to go, right? And you've got some slots open, but nothing booked yet, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, hopefully that won't be too long, okay? I sure hope not. I have seen some postings here lately about some people that their referrals are getting booked very, very quickly, like overnight. They're getting booked. So we're going to talk about bookings tonight. We're going to talk about how to get bookings, how to have a profile that attracts those, and some stuff like that to help you out with that. So I'm going to, since you've already done the document phase, I'm going to skip over that, and I'll do a separate video for the document phase. But I want to go to now and just look at the portal and let you see the portal, where stuff is on the portal, how to open bookings. Well, let's first talk about. Let me move this. I'm recording this a little differently, so let me put this on. There we go. Okay, so let me put this on here. Let's talk first about how to make your profile look good, okay? Because I want you to understand what the parents go through as they are looking for teachers and what you can do to attract the attention of the parents and some other people. You want to attract attention of the learning partners from VIPKid because they are the ones that also can help get bookings. So that's what we want to do to get that. And you do that with your pictures, your video, and your bio that you write, okay? So the first thing is your pictures. Now, what happens when a parent goes to book a new class, they get this whole thing. They just say, I want to book a class on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Beijing time. So they pull up a whole page full of teachers that this teacher is available at that time. And it's all it has is the teacher name, and it has, believe it or not, it has your age there, and then isn't that comforting? So they know exactly how old you are, and this is what her degree is in, and she's a certified teacher, and she's certified in the VIPKid TESOL. That's all they see, and your picture, your main profile picture. So I'm not sure what that sound was, but it was interesting. I don't know. Anyway, but that's all they see to begin with. So what can you do to stand out in that? Okay. And so your profile picture is the first thing that you would do to do that. And you want something that's interesting. What you don't want is a stiff, formal headshot, okay? Maybe they're your teacher picture that you had done at school last year or something like that. That just doesn't capture who you are, and it just is boring, okay? So think about some way you can have a really good picture, great lighting, maybe outdoors, or maybe in your classroom with a fun prop or something, a puppet or something like that. Try and see if you can do one with a pet, because the pets attract attention as well. Okay, so if you can get your cat in the picture, or your dog, or your chicken, or whatever you have, trust, I have seen pictures that I'm like, really? They've got their pet chicken in there? But they did. So, I've seen great pictures, pictures like that. But you know what? It worked. It got their attention. I had one lady said she sent me several pictures, and one of them she had dyed her hair blue. And I was like, oh, I really wouldn't put it. Wait a second. Yes, put that. And I told her, I said, use that one as your profile picture, because it will be completely different than everyone else. And it's going to get attention. And sure enough, she got booked like the first couple of days. So are you willing to dye your hair blue, Andrea?
I am totally willing to dye my hair blue. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now maybe, and then your secondary. So what happens is they look at that first picture and they go, hey, she looks interesting. And they click on your picture. Then they can watch your little video, and your video needs to be short-ish, you know, less than a minute, or somewhere right around a minute. But it needs to be exciting, fun, and all that. Now you can add. Did you add graphics or music or anything like that to
I
yours?
added music, yeah.
Good for you. Good. Yeah. So that's great to do that. And you're marketing it for the parents. Yeah, the video is for the parents, but the kids also watch it too. So it's got to be for kind of, you want to be talking to the parents, but you want to look like you're fun for the kids too.
Yeah.
So you got to market it for both of them. And really, I really want you to think of this as marketing and marketing your business, okay? Because your business now is VIP Kid. Okay, so you want to market that business so that it can be seen, and that you are marketing yourself to these parents. Okay, so be thinking of that mindset. How can you sell yourself to them? Okay, because we are not only are we selling ourselves to them, but we're selling VIPKid to them. What kind of value are they getting in continuing these lessons? And particularly if you do trial classes, eventually as you get the trial certification, then you're going to want to then when you do that, you are literally selling VIPKid to them. Okay, so that is a great option to do that. So just be market minded, and there is a great workshop that you can go to now that you've been approved and signed your contract and all that. If you look I'll show you where it is in the portal, but there's a workshop called Marketing Yourself that's going to go over some of this as well. Okay, now your secondary pictures, those can have your family. They maybe a vacation picture at some place famous, Disney or mountains or something like that, something that looks interesting to them, particularly if you've got anything that with like a landmark they would know. I had a picture for a little while where I was at a Chinese festival, and it had the Chinese lanterns with it. So I had that as my picture for a little while. Just anything to kind of capture attention. And can I be real honest about my video? My video is the same one that I put up when I first started teaching, and it's horrible. No graphics, no music, no nothing. I didn't know how to edit videos then. And so it's just me, and hi, hey, welcome to my class. Anyway, it was, and but
you have a very a persona that is just, I can imagine that just being a magnet for those parents.
I don't know, something's working because I'm always booked. So pretty much any slot that I open gets booked. And so it may cancel, but then somebody else books it. So I haven't really worried about changing my video. And I'm actually planning on shooting some video while I'm in China to do a new video with it. So maybe I'll do a new video up on the Great Wall or something like that. That'd be a perfect place to do it. So
I'm really excited about my video. My kids, every time I put my video, I was looking today at my profile on my phone app, and my kids were just like, "We gotta watch it again. We gotta watch it again. We gotta watch it again." I'm like, "Hey, this is a good sign. Hopefully, strange kids will also think that it's
there
fun."
you go. That it looks like lots of it. That she looks fun and everything. And that's the key. You want to look like you're fun, but you're serious about it too. This reminds me of something that I haven't put anywhere else. So I'm glad I thought about it just now. When you are hired, when you go through the mock class, your mock mentor gives you what are called teacher tags, and they can give you up to 5. Okay, have you read anything about teacher tags anywhere?
I have, but I forgot about it.
Okay. So the teacher tags talk about what you're good at. Okay, so your teacher tags may be something like pronunciation correction, or oh gosh, I can't even remember what all they are.
How do I find those?
To do that, you have to send in a ticket, and I'm going to show you where to send in a ticket here in a little bit when we get to the portal. But you can have up to 5. Sometimes they only give you 2 or 3 in the mock class. Sometimes it's like beginner, the beginner, that you were good at beginner, or one of some of them may be grammar correction, or there's a whole huge list of the ones, and they're all positive ones. Okay, and now one that a lot of people get that they're very confused by is serious. Okay, and it's not, and it's a translation thing. It's not serious as in not funny. Okay, it is
You're really
serious.
going to teach their kid.
Yes, you are serious about your job, and you are serious about doing a good job with this. And the parents like the serious one. Okay, one of my tags is actually patience. That's why I get all the hyper kids. Okay, and so yeah, I'm like, can you take that one off, please? So, but there is a list, and I'll bump it back up because I know we've put it into the Facebook group before. But there is a whole list of teacher tags on there. In fact, I might need to do. See, I'm coming up with all these ideas for all these videos that I want to do. Yeah, and yeah, I don't have time to do these videos before I leave for China. My list to get done before China is nuts right now. But anyway, so but the teacher tags, send in a ticket and say, please tell me what my teacher tags are. They're going to send them back to you. You might have 2, 3, whatever. If you don't like some of them, you can switch them out. Please remove this one and add this tag. Okay.
Oh, really?
And
you can do that?
Yeah, you can do that. Okay. So if you want to, and think about what age group you would really like to teach. Okay, so if you want to teach younger children, then you would add things like phonics and pronunciation and beginner techniques, that type of thing. And then if you want to teach older children, and that's also thinking about your video. How do you gear your video for which age group you want to teach? Okay, so just be looking at that about those tags. But that's a great thing. Sometimes they don't have any tags, or sometimes there's only a couple of them. Use every single one of those that you can on that. Okay, and then on your bio, the way you write your bio is really important. Okay, you want to make sure that the very first thing in there is your education. Okay, that's what the parents look for first. They want to see what your education is. Hang on just a second. Can y'all close this door, please? Okay. Sorry, they're in there washing dishes and everything. So, but you want to put your education first. That's the first thing.
How specific do I want?
Don't put the school name unless it's like Yale or Harvard. Okay, but if you went, like I went to a school that nobody in China would ever know about. Okay, so I mean it's a great school, but no one would have ever heard of this school. So I just put I have a bachelor's degree in music education or a master's degree in whatever whatever your degree is in, particularly if your degree is in education. Okay, you want to list that it is in whatever kind of education it is. Okay, because a lot of parents, I've heard some interviews with parents saying that I will not book a class with a teacher that does not have a degree and particularly, or that does not have a degree in education. Okay, so that's what they are first looking for, is that education degree. And then talk about your experience that you have with children. Now do you homeschool?
I do homeschool.
Okay, so if you say, when you're talking about your experience with homeschool, that definitely counts as experience, but don't call it homeschool. Homeschool is actually illegal in China, and so they don't know what it is. Okay, so list it as private tutoring. Okay, that is the best way to do it. You can either private tutoring or private school. You can list it that way, and that makes more sense for them. Okay, that I taught all these age levels for in private tutoring. Okay, but they want to know what age groups that you have taught and what subjects that you have taught. So I taught elementary ages, if that's where your children are. I taught elementary ages in all the subjects, within a private tutoring session. Okay, or whatever that is, but use that term instead of homeschooling in it. But you're going to list your education first, then your experience with children, and then talk about maybe what you're an expert at, because you are an expert. I know that you are. Okay, so you're an expert in grammar, or you're an expert in pronunciation correction, or you're an expert in complete in getting them in conversation, or something like that, something that you're an expert in. Okay. And then finally finish up with some of your hobbies, and something about your family. I have 4 children and 2 dogs, and I love to go hiking, and I love to go to Disney or something like that. Okay. And I love to read, or just a few things about your hobbies. Someone said a while back that they try to match the students with the teachers with some hobbies. So, if they play the piano, they're looking for someone that with more music degrees, or music in their background. Or if they play sports, maybe they're looking for someone that their hobbies are listed as sports hobbies. Okay, so now you've already written your bio, right?
Yes.
Have you already gotten some ideas on how you want to change your bio?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so so go in and change your bio, rewrite the bio. Hang on just a second. Okay. Oh, okay. So go in and rewrite your bio, which you can do that just from the app and everything. But then copy, well, what you want to do first is you want to translate it, okay? And make sure as you're writing that you're using short, simple sentences. Longer sentences and like compound sentences just do not translate very well. So use short, simple sentences, simple language. You're not going to use $10 words. You're going to use short, simple words with this. Then run it through a translator. There's the translator that VIPKid uses is from a company called 10 Cent. Okay, like in a dime is 10 cents. Okay, 10cent.com. I've got a link to it that I'll send to you. And it's listed also in the boot camp, or well, not in the boot camp, but the part of my website. There is a whole section of my website. I don't know if you've seen it or not yet, but for help for after you're hired. Okay, yes, there's a whole section of my website that you need to go read that has help for after you're hired. But the translator, you need to send it through the translator. So go from English to Chinese, then copy the Chinese and take it back into English. Okay, and see if something gets really, really funky. Okay, if it's okay, if it works okay, then send them the original English. Don't send them the translated one. Okay, send them the original English. If something gets funky, go back to your original one, change it a little bit, maybe simplify the wording a little bit, translate, and then translate back. And if that one does okay, send the original one that you did. Okay, now since you've already submitted yours, you're going to need to also on a ticket, you're going to need to send it back saying, I changed my bio, would you please retranslate it? Okay, because what they do is they go in and translate it. If you just changed your bio but you don't send them a ticket, they don't mess with retranslating it. Okay, so send that in and to ask them to retranslate that. Okay. All right, so those are all things that are going to help you with that. Some other things that are going to help you get bookings quicker is to add more certifications, and we'll go through that when we get to the portal and look through the portal of how you do those certifications. And then let's see. Other than that, get your background ready. Some simple props. I just put up a video earlier this week about my favorite props to use that I use over and over again. So things like plastic food, toy food. Go raid your kids' toy box, okay? Toy food and animals are the things that I use a lot, and the balls, which you probably already have the balls from the mock classes. But I use those a lot. I use flashcards a lot. But you're going to grow your list after a while, okay? But those are some things that I use really often. All the printed out characters from them, if you look in the file section in the Facebook group, there's a whole section in there with the VIPKid characters that you can print those out. So we use those a lot as well. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go now. I want to go to the actual portal or the VIPKid or to the Facebook or not the Facebook page, the VIPKid portal. So let me move this over here. All right. I gotta Okay. Now, resume the share. There we go. Nope, not yet. Hang on. Let me get back to the VIPKid's website. I'll edit this part out since I'm over here fumbling around for where I want to go. Right? Okay. Do you see the VIPKid website now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so let me start way over here on the home page, and we're just going to take a simple walk through all the sections of it to what we're not going to hit everything, but I'm going to hit the big things. Okay, first, have you downloaded the app yet?
On my phone, yes, I have.
Okay, now there's also a computer app. Have you downloaded that?
I did.
Okay, good. So we have to teach from the VIPKid app now. We cannot teach from Chrome or Firefox or anything like that. You have to use the app now to teach with. So if you don't have it, or if you need to update it, you can do so from here. So over here on the left side, see the little arrow up here at the top? That's where you're going to go to get the app, or there's this button over here on the side. Okay, so I'm on Chrome right now, showing you this. What I will go to the actual app here in a minute. It looks exactly like this. Okay, but it's their app. Okay, so here on the home page, it just tells you your upcoming 3 classes here. It has your to-do list. If you'll see here on my to-do list, I've got 2 booking requests. Those are kids that I've taught before that they are requesting to book me at another time. I just need to go. These are probably times that I'm going to be in China, so I have to go in and tell them, sorry, I can't teach you here. And then if you have any tasks that need to be done, like if you haven't submitted your feedback or something like that, that would be in this one, okay, in that section of the website, okay. Then the next page, and then there's also any kind of promotions or anything that they have coming up, announcements that they have. They're going to be here. Down here at the bottom is the library. This is one place to find the library, but there are tons of other places, or there are tons of other things here. So but we're going to go to classes first. We're going to learn about classes first. So hover over class and click on it, and there are 3 options here: bookings, classrooms, and feedback. All right, so let's go to bookings first. And this is where you open the slot. Now, you said you've already been able to open some slots?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So this is what the schedule looks like. And you see here, this is for this week. So let me just show you what it looks like when you're going through the week. Okay. So all of these over here in gray, these are the classes that I've taught all week long. And then these are my classes for tomorrow morning. Okay. So this is Friday morning starting at 7 a.m. I have Li Chi and Daniel Zhang and Man Man and Susan and Jesse. And then this last slot that you see here, that one is open and it's available for short notice, but no one has booked it yet. It actually was booked earlier and somebody canceled. We're seeing a lot of that right now with kids that are going on vacation. We think that some of the bookings are done automatically by the system, and then they get in there and they say, oh, they booked me for such and such that day and I've got birthday party or whatever, and they'll cancel the class. Okay, so cancellations, it's not a thing of we don't like you, we don't want to take class with you. Sometimes it's just their schedule changes with that. Okay, all right, but let me show you how to open slots. And to do that, I'm actually going to go a couple of weeks out because I don't want to open up any slots for the next week or so, since I'm going to be in China for that. Okay, so let me go up to this one. Okay, so this is a couple of weeks away from now. Okay, this is the week I get back from China, and so it has slots here that I'm showing that I show as available. But let me show you how to open the slots. The first thing you have to do is you have to hit unlock. So look up here in the top right corner and see the little lock here. We have to click unlock, and what that is for is to save us from accidentally, while we're scrolling through, clicking on a slot and opening it by accident. Okay, that was happening to a lot of people. They were getting booked at really odd times, and they finally figured out it was as they were scrolling through, they accidentally clicked on a slot and opened it. Okay, so now we have to go through a multi-step process to open these slots in order to do that. Okay, so you click on unlock. Okay, and then come on now. All right, then go down here for whatever slot you want to open. I'm going to choose this one. This is on Saturday. It's at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to click on that one, and this box pops up, You want to click on course, and now that course is available. Okay, but then if I click on here, this is short notice. Okay, that means that class can be booked. If it's not short notice, if I take the short notice off, okay, has to be booked at least 24 hours in advance. So you're going to have at least 24 hours notice that you're going to teach that class. Okay, if you click it for short notice, then it can be booked up to 1 hour before class time. Okay, so that's kind of it's dangerous. I don't want to say it's dangerous, but for a new teacher, that might be a little much for you to do that. Okay, it's up to you which one. Have you done any short notice ones? Have you opened any short notice? Nope.
No.
Okay.
Actually, I do have 2 open for tomorrow morning. But
oh, good for you. And you got to mark short notice, right?
Yes.
Good for you.
Well,
now,
it forces you to do it at short notice,
right,
because it's less than 24 hours.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Okay, if you open it within 24 hours, it will automatically be short notice. Okay, so what you want to do is to and I'm gonna if you want to close the slot, as long as the slot has not been booked, you can close it and it's no problem. Okay, so you just click here, or you just click on close, and that closes the slot. Okay, as long as it hasn't been booked, you can open and close it as many times as you want to. Once it's been booked, you can't cancel it. You can't close that slot without it affecting you. Okay, and they hate for you to cancel classes. Okay, so just be aware of that they really hate you to cancel classes, and only give you a few cancellations per contract before you can end up getting fired. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, all right, so you've got a good understanding of how to open those slots for that. Now, here's what I want you to do to make sure that you're ready tomorrow morning. So what time are your slots that you have open?
I think they're for my time, 4:30.
Okay.
And 5:30. I think
4:30, 5:30. Okay, good.
4 and 4:30.
Okay. All right. So what you need to do is wake up about 3 o'clock. Okay, set your alarm on your phone, wake up about 3 o'clock, take a look at your phone. See, does it have anything? Yeah, and don't just rely on the notifications from the app, okay? Because sometimes we get notifications that we've been booked, and sometimes it doesn't send those notifications. Okay, so don't rely on that. Go actually into the app and look at your schedule and see if they have been booked. Okay, if they haven't been booked, close out the slots, turn it off, go back to sleep. Okay, but whatever you do, you have to check those slots before at least an hour before them, because they could be booked and you don't know it, and you end up with and I cannot tell you how many teachers have had no shows for their very first class because, oh, well, I didn't know I got booked. Okay, and if that slot is open, you have to check it within an hour of class time in order to be able to make sure that you can see that. Okay, so so what I would do when I first started is I would have slots open for the next morning. The night before, I would take a look, see if I had any bookings. If I was tired for whatever, I would close them out and sleep in the next morning. And then when I started getting bookings, I would still leave some open. But maybe if I didn't have anything, I would do that. I'd wake up an hour beforehand, take a look at my phone. If they didn't book, close them, go back to sleep. Okay, but make sure that you check those slots at least an hour beforehand to see if they've gotten booked. Okay, don't leave them there. Don't leave them open if you can do it. Now, here's a couple of tips. Some of the things that we think help, and some things are rumor, but maybe they do. Okay, like right now, you would want to go in and close the slots for today and tomorrow. Okay, or maybe tomorrow and the next day. Go in, close the slots, log out of the website, then log back into the website and open them up again. The theory is that will bump you up to the top of the "Hey, I'm available" list. Okay, and some people, that has worked for them to get more booking. Okay, it's kind of a rumor thing, and it hasn't really been confirmed that that's true, but for some people it has worked for them. Okay, so definitely try it and see. Okay, now your mountain time, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so right now we can teach from 8:30 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, Beijing time. For me, I'm East Coast time, so that's 8:30 at night till 10 o'clock in the morning. For you, that would be 6:30 at night until 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, but there was a new regulation that's just come out down from the Chinese government that they do not want children below the age of 15 taking classes after 9 o'clock at night. So we're going to lose that last hour of teaching time, but that has not gone into effect yet. They're still trying to, I think VIPKid is trying to lobby for that to be changed, so that maybe, 10 years old and up or something like that can still take classes, but they're still trying to do that, but that has not gone into effect yet with us, but it will go into effect but then. Now the best hours to get booked, you see the ones that are marked with hot, okay? Those are the most popular times. This is 7 to 9 o'clock at night for them, okay? But even to 6 o'clock, right now with the kids out of school for the summer, they're booking all day, every day. Doesn't matter, okay? And but once school starts for them, those evening hours are going to be the most popular times. The other times are available, but they don't book very well. So if you're trying to get evening slots on weekdays, those don't book very well. But weekends, they do. Okay, you could teach all night Friday night and all night Saturday night if you wanted to on the weekends. So those are great times to teach with it, and a lot of people that will do that. They'll teach, they'll do an all nighter, on one or the other nights or both nights. Just depends on what they want to do. Okay. All right. Any questions on the schedule there of how that works? Okay. Once you do get a booking, you're going to see, let me go back and show you what it looks like when you get a booking. So let me go back to this week. Okay, so this is this week. Once you get a booking, it's going to turn green and the student's name will appear there. Okay, you can click on this one and on any one of those, and you can click on this and it'll take you to the information about it. This one will take you into the classroom. This one is the cancel this class, but like I said, try your very best not to cancel those classes. Okay, there's a whole other section about canceling classes. You're gonna have to read about that on my website, but try your best not to ever cancel. But that's what it looks like, to have those available. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and close this last slot tonight. I don't want to teach that last one. So I'm going to go ahead and close that one out. But you see, this is this week's schedule, and then next week, if you need to take time off, you do not have to do anything. All you do is don't open slots. Okay, so this is when I'm heading for China. So I'm teaching Monday and Tuesday, Wednesdays when I leave. So I just didn't open slots for those. Okay, now you're going to also see this, and let me pull this up to show you. See all these that say one interested student, two interested students, whatever. This is where once you start getting regular students, they put into their profile, my favorite teacher is Teacher Penny, and I want to book her at such and such time. Okay, and when they put that in there, that's what shows up there. I cannot see who that is that's saying it is that they're interested in me. Okay, all it says is that I've got interested students then, and even if I open that box, it does not guarantee that I can get booked for that one. Okay, that's just open and it's available. Now, if as we teach the class, like today, I taught them all of these students, 6 students this morning, and after that, they are able to book me for that same slot 2 weeks later. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. This is 2 weeks later, so I'm getting requests. I taught Tong Tong this morning, so I'm getting requests from her. This is 2 weeks out to book that class there. She is now each teacher can have 14 students that say that they're your favorite student, and so Tong Tong is one of my favorites. So she can request that she gets that booking there. That's called priority booking. Okay, so that's where those come from. Okay. All right, and these are the booking requests that I've got to go in. I'll deal with them later, but if you get priority booking requests, they come in there. There is an operation log here. If you're questioning of maybe there's a booking that showed up at a time that you can't teach, and you're like, I didn't open that slot. You can go in here to the operation log, and it will show you exactly who opened what slot when, okay, and what time it was open. So this is it. I have never had to deal with this, okay, but but some people have been able to say, this thing was opened, at a time that I was asleep, and so it was not opened by me, and so they've been able to get cancellations that way. But this just tells you exactly what you've done when, so it's good to have that information. Okay. All right, now this is over here under class, and then under classrooms. This is where your classes are going to show up once they're booked. Okay, so this first one has upcoming classes, and so once you get a booking, it's going to show up here, and you can see all about that class and that classroom and your student once you get to this one. And so it's under class and then classroom. And so this one is my next class that I have tomorrow morning. So this is the time, and it shows it in my local time. So August 9th at 7 a.m. And then it does have the Beijing time. So it's 7 p.m. in Beijing. And this is the course number. So you've seen some about the course numbers. This is a level 2 student. They're in unit 11, so they're almost at the end of unit 2, because there's 12 units in each level. Okay, so they're almost to the end of level 2, and they're in lesson cycle 2, lesson 10. So they're almost at the end of unit 11 in this one. Okay, and this just shows you it's a major course class, just a regular class. Okay, so if it says MC here at the beginning, those are major course. They're just the regular classes. Okay, and right now you are certified for 2 and 3. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're only going to see level 2 and level 3 classes booked right now. Okay, so this just tells you it's a weather and seasons class. So that's the base, the subject of it. It's an interactive class, so they're going to be able to move things around on the page and everything. And then here is, this is where it tells me about my student. So this is her name. Her name is Li Qi. And this, if I click on her name, it pulls up a new window. Let me erase all my markings here. All right, it pulls up a new window that tells me a little bit about my student. Okay, so here it has her name, and I can put in a nickname here. This is for my information only. I have 2 Leos that I teach on a regular basis. I teach 2 or 3 times a week, and they're really close as far as the level of lesson that they're on. So I can put in that nickname that this is Leo. That is he used to call himself Ping Ao. That's his official name, but he goes by Leo. And then I've got the other Leo who never smiles. So I have Leo Ping Ao and Leo No Smile. And that's how it shows up on my schedule for me to do that. Here's their birthday, but sometimes the birthdays are wrong. Okay. So just don't always believe that that's the birth. Sometimes it's the day they signed up for VIPKid. The year might be correct, but the date might be wrong. Okay. The parents can put in personality things here, but very few do. Okay, and then I can leave notes just for me to know about what I want to do there. In this case, this child, they've had 2 classes with me. They've had 23 classes total with VIPKid. Okay, so I've taught this child 2 times, and then over here the parents can tell you, I want you to concentrate on complete sentences, or I want you to concentrate on pronunciation, or whatever they want to do there. And then I have written these notes that I wrote about it. So in my lesson, the lesson that I taught her a couple of days ago, I left this note. She's an older student. She's 11. She struggled with reading, responding to questions. Just to give the next teacher a heads up, this is what's going on. And then this is where other teachers have left notes about what she has done. Okay. And sometimes, and we don't have to leave teacher to teacher feedback. Okay. That's optional, but we can leave it if we choose to. And then we give we can give a grade on, we give a grade on each one. So she did pretty good, but not great on that lesson. Okay, now that is where the student information is, but I know you probably are really most interested in where is the lesson itself. How do I see the lesson? Okay,
Yes.
so let's go back here to, this is the class list, and over here on the right side, this is okay, where it says classroom. Okay, and materials. Okay, so you click on materials, and as soon as you are booked, even if it's 2 weeks away, as soon as you are booked for this class, you can see the materials. It's going to open up a new page, a new tab in your browser, and here are the slides that I'm going to be teaching, and I can go through each one of these slides and see them. I can even move the stuff around on the slide as I need to. The only weird thing about it is the tips. Okay, look at the top left corner. See that little black box that says tips? Okay, if you click on that, hang on, let me get back. Yeah, if you click on that, it brings down the tips there. Now, when you first go onto that page, the tips are there, but then they disappear really quick. So pull it back on the tips to bring the tips back down to read those and study and figure out how you want to teach each one. Okay, so go through each one of those, and it tells you here your objective with it. It tells you the sentence pattern that you're going to be teaching, the vocabulary word, all of that. And then sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes there will be a video here of a teacher that has gotten really good reviews on this particular lesson several times, and they'll have a video there of them teaching that. So it's not on all of the lessons yet, but it's on some of them. So that really helps you as the new teacher to do that. Okay, then it does have here some tips from other teachers of what they have done. It also, some of this has the feedback that they have sent to the parents. So you can just copy this feedback, put your student's name into it, and send that as your feedback. So you're not having to create new feedback every time. You can copy this and send it in there. Okay, then it has an out.
Someone else's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, you can copy somebody else's feedback and just change it up enough to add something specific to their lesson. Okay, I do that. I use a different a different program that has pre-written feedback, and I copy it, put it into the feedback, and then I go in and edit it a little bit. I put my student's name into it, add a few specific details about what we did, so it doesn't sound too copy and paste and generic. Okay, but they've also gotten, they have the outline of the thing. It's got some props, a list of props that you might need to have. In fact, there's even links to things that you can print out here, and a reward system that might work really well with it. Tips and tricks. Honestly, I've never even looked through all these. There's some feedback templates there too. Okay, so lots of information in here about these slides with that. Okay, that help out a little bit?
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is really good to see those that are available there. So it's really good to have that. And like I said, you can go into this as soon as you get booked for that class. You can go in and see that. Okay. Now I'm going to stop. Well, let me show you a couple more things on the. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. Back to where I. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up the app now, because I can't show you the classroom unless I'm in the app. So let me go into the app now and show you that. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is the app. I said that it looked exactly like the portal on the website. It looks the same. Okay. So under resources up here, if you look back up here at the top under resources, there is the library. This is where it has lots of workshops that have been done before. It has recordings of those workshops, tons and tons of information. Okay, teaching techniques. You could watch hours and hours and hours of videos here. Okay, it has advanced techniques. It's got curriculum. It walks through, if you're curious about what does level 3 unit 11 have in it. It'll walk you through that whole unit so you can understand that. Understand that there are over 1,000 lessons in the whole curriculum. You can't know the whole thing. Now, eventually, you're going to get better at, right now, I could probably teach every lesson in Unit 2 in my sleep, okay, because I've taught them that many times. And I used most of my bookings are level 2 and level 3 students, so I could teach those in my sleep. But since you don't know those, these are some great resources for you to go to. But the big one I want you to see is up here. That is the workshop schedule. Okay, so right up here at the top of the page, is the workshop schedule. So you just click on that one and it will show you the workshops that are available. They are done here in Zoom, just like this class is, and you can go to several different ones of them, and they're great to go to. You do not have to be on camera. You don't have to be on microphone, so you can just turn it on and listen to it while you're doing whatever, cleaning house or whatever. And they have them, a lot of times throughout the day. I definitely recommend you could do the new teacher kickoff workshop and let's see, what's the other one? Let me go back. I think I clicked somewhere wrong. Okay. The new teacher kickoff workshop is really good to go to. And then there is one. All right, the workshop, go to the workshop calendar. That's where it is. Okay. All right, here in the workshop calendar, it lists all the different workshops that they have. The ones I recommend that you do are the, let's see here, navigating the teacher portal is really good. UAs and final projects to learn how to do the UAs. And do what?
I don't see what you're circling.
Oh, you can't.
I'm on the page that says workshop resources.
Oh, okay. It brought up a pop-up for me, and I bet it's not showing that for you.
Yeah,
okay, just write these down, the ones that you should take. Okay, there's navigating the teacher portal, which is a lot of what I'm teaching you right now. Okay, UAs and final projects, and then there is one called marketing yourself, and that is a really great one to take as well. Okay, all right. Let me get back out of here. Because I think it didn't show the pop-up when I got to the pop-up with you. Okay.
That was in.
Those are in the workshops. Yeah, those are in the workshops. Okay. All right, let me go back. All right, now are you back to the workshop? You see the workshop schedule?
Yes, like right in the middle of the page.
Okay, good. All right. When you're ready to add more certifications, and which will let you get more bookings, go to resources and then certification, and then over here for major course. And you can click on any one of the badges that are there. If it is gray and it has on here available, okay, you can click on it and you can take that take it to figure it out what you need to do to get that one. Sometimes it's just take a quiz. Sometimes it's take a quiz and do a 10-minute recording of a mock lesson. It's not like a mock class. You just record yourself teaching it. Okay. Different ones have different things here. The ones that you probably need to look at adding pretty quickly would be the level 3. Here we go, level 3 and level 4, and then down here you want to do the MC trial 3.0 plus. Okay, those are the trial classes. Those are the ones where you will get the most bookings. The others you probably cannot add yet. Okay, you'll have to teach a certain number of classes, and they're always changing the number of classes you have to be able to add new things. So just click on each one and it'll tell you what you need to add there. Okay. All right. Now, the last thing I want to do is take you to, let me go back up here to the top. I want to take you to the into a classroom and let you see what the actual classroom looks like. Okay. Now this is, I'm going to take you into Daniel's class because this is Daniel is he's my buddy. He is just the most cutest thing. So I clicked on classroom on that list, and this is what the actual classroom is going to look like. Now, this looks different than what you saw in the mock class, doesn't it? Okay, in the mock class, the videos were over here on this side. Okay, this is what we call the new classroom. They changed it up a couple of months ago, but the mock classes are still in the old classroom. Okay, but in this new one, everything is still here. They just moved it around a little bit. Okay, so in this case, my students' video is going to be up here, and then my video is going to be here on the page. Okay, then these are the infamous stars that we've talked about. Okay, so to give stars, you would click on the plus sign to give them more stars, and then the minus if you need to take one away. I never, ever, 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 ever take stars away. Okay, I mean, in 2,300 classes, I've taken away stars twice. Okay, so yeah, it takes a lot to lose stars with Teacher Penny. Okay, and then this up here, this tells me the class is going to start more than 10 hours. Once you get, I think it's 2 hours beforehand, this will actually be a countdown clock. Okay, and then at 5 minutes before, the start class button will be active. It's not active now. It doesn't start. It's not active until 5 minutes before the class starts. Okay. But you do have to click start class. When you click on start class, your video and your audio will turn on. Right now, my video is off and my microphone is muted. So even though I'm already in the classroom, it's not picking up my video or audio or anything right now because everything is still muted. You can see here how everything is still muted here. But you can go into the classroom, and this is what you need to do when you get booked for it. By the way, the classroom will not be available until 48 hours before your lesson. So if you get booked for a class 2 weeks from now, okay, that's great, but you cannot get in the classroom until 48 hours. You can see the material, you just can't get in the classroom.
So
okay.
Show me in the classroom what's there that's not in the stuff other than the video of the student, your video, the stars. What else is there? There's a chat box.
Okay, yeah, this is the chat box over here on the far right side. Okay, now this is the parents. The parents and kids can see this. The firemen can see it. And if you need to get a hold of the firemen for any kind of tech problem, if you type in here, the children can see it too, and the parents can see it too. Okay, so just be aware that that's there. Now the slides are not going to load into the classroom until you hit start class. Okay, but you can preview them even now. You can click on that slide preview. It'll bring up the same thing that I showed you earlier. Okay, so you can go into the classroom and view the slides that way. Okay, but you can also come in, and this is what you really need to do is come in and check your tech stuff. So turn on the camera. I'm going to do that right quick so you can see what it looks like. You can turn on the camera here so that you can see, and it may not let me do it. There we go. Yep. Okay. So you can turn on the camera here to check it out. Make sure that it shows your classroom okay. Check out your lighting. See how your lighting looks and everything. Play with the distance and everything with that to make sure that you're ready to do that. You can also test your microphone and everything. Now it still has me muted. I'm going to unmute right quick. Okay. All right. See this little hang on, this little gauge up here, okay, that tells me that as it's turning green, that means my mic is working. Okay, and then this meter right here, which has a 40 on it, the 40 is my amount of ping, the amount of whatchamacallit, the amount of interference that I have. You want that to be as low as possible. Mine usually stays around 40 to 50. Okay, if you get higher than like 100, 120, something like that, you might have problems in class. But you definitely want to just, that just means that you've got good internet there. Okay. Now you can also go into the toolbox here. Okay. You can go into the toolbox, and this brings up this thing. So this one shows my microphone, and you can see how it's working there. Okay. But if it's not working, the first thing you check is here, where it brings this pull down menu, and this is where I can choose. Do I want to use my headset? Do I want to use the built-in microphone or the one through minicam, which that probably won't show up in your system? But here's where you can choose the microphone you want to use. You can also choose the camera that you want to use, and then on the speaker one, you can have it play. You click on play, and it plays some obnoxious music. That you're like, turn it off, turn it off. Anyway, but it will play some music just to make sure that your speaker is working okay. Okay. Now, a couple of fun things I want to show you that were nowhere anywhere in your mock class, but just a couple of fun things here is the little gift box here on on my video. If I click that, I can add AR stickers. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, aren't those fun? So we can. Yeah, you like that. So we can add all kinds of AR stickers. These sometimes we use. Sometimes I use these as rewards. Because they're hilarious. The kids love them. Okay, but sometimes and there's like this one is I can be Meg. That's just scary. It's just scary. Look at the sideburns. Anyway. So I can be Meg or Mike, or I can have Dino on my head. So lots of fun. Lots of fun stuff that we can do with these. And the kids love them. I do use the animal ones a lot because I can be a lion or a dog or a cat. So these are great fun. And if the student is using an up-to-date app on their iPad or on their computer, I can put them on them too.
Oh, really?
Yes, that is lots of. And if mom or dad are right there and they're in the screen, it'll put them on mom and dad too.
Oh, really?
I've got a picture somewhere of one of my students and his dad as lions. And now to take them off, this is a lot of people are like, how do I get these things off? Okay. Important things to know. Okay. The little circle with a slash through it, that's how you take them off. Okay. And then they just introduced the high five. So you click on the high five, and I put my hand up here and high five, and it shows up high five for them. They just started that about a week ago, and honestly, I haven't used it in the classroom yet, but it's there. Okay. All right. When you get through teaching the class, you can click on add feedback. And that's where you're going to add the feedback to your parents. And so, oops, that's the wrong one. Okay. So you can click on the add feedback to do that. The advice is if you want to leave something about something's wrong with the slides or something like that, you can leave that on. I never mess with that. Okay. Exit, that's how you get out of the classroom. If you have any problems, you can hit refresh, and that'll just reload the page. It'll reload the whole thing. Usually that fixes the problems. Okay. You can also switch lines. So you click on switch lines and then choose a different line, and sometimes that will fix the problem. Okay. So if you have any kind of connection problems or anything, just switch the lines and refresh. That's the first thing you do. That'll clear up the problem usually. If not, then you can click here and click on contact fireman. Okay. And of course the contact fireman is not available now. Okay. So, all right. And the last,
where that is again, just.
Yeah. Contact fireman is right here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Our pictures are covering it on my screen.
I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's the contact fireman there. Okay. And then just a couple of other things that they've just given us. This one is, this actually has filters. This one up here on the far right, it has filters that you can turn the filters on so that I have blush on, and I can soften my look. So if I don't want to put on makeup at 6:30, yeah, isn't that weird? Or I can change the contrast or whatever. It does help a little bit with makeup because I never wear.
Very interesting.
Isn't it though? Yeah. Okay, let me see. All right. So this is with the filter. That's what. Well, yeah, do look pretty good, but a little better with the filter on. Maybe I'll use that more often. So anyway,
That's great.
and then you can also use night mode. So night mode just it turns everything dark. It's easier on the eye, but it also cuts down on the light. So you might have to adjust your lighting with it. Okay, but the night mode is good there too. Okay.
Okay.
Wow, I do kind of like that filter look now. So I may have to use that more. So anyway, all right. Does that give you a better idea of what to do to teach the class?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. I'm glad. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to hit
That's so much
exit.
information.
All of this, since I turned the camera and light on, all of that was recorded, but it probably is not going to be part of it. By the way, once you teach a class, you can go back into the classroom later, a couple of hours after class, and you can watch the whole class. Okay,
Okay.
so if you want to go back in and go, how did I do here, and what did I? Yeah, and it's good to go back in and watch it a couple of times to just
Yeah.
to hear. Oh, I said that and that and that. I shouldn't have said that, and I should have done that. So it's good to go. I can't stand to watch myself. Okay, it's
Yeah.
yeah, cannot stand it, but it is good to go do that every now and
Uh-huh.
then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So once you get to, if you're looking for classes that you've already taught, they're going to be over here in this tab for all classes.
Okay.
Okay. And that has everything that you've done in the past. Okay.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to figure out is pay. Okay. So when you go over here to my info and then to payment, and that's going to bring up your pay. They have just introduced to us that we can get paid once a week.
Oh, really?
Or yes, they just introduced that this past week. If you want to change it, you can go in and change it. Or you can get paid once a week, or twice, or once every other week, or once a month. Your
Huh.
choice, which one you want.
Well,
Okay.
that's great. I saw that this morning when I was putting my bank stuff
Yeah.
in, and I was like, "But whatever."
Huh?
I've always heard that it's just once a month, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's great.
Yeah, so I get paid. I chose to do it twice a month. Okay, but this has everything. So now, if you teach a class, let's say you teach a class tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock, don't panic. Your pay is not going to show up there until probably about, well, it's 1:30 my time, so it'd be about 11:30 your time.
Okay.
Okay, they don't start processing all the classes for the day until midnight their time, so it's not going to show up in your payment until about noon your time.
Okay.
Okay, so don't panic. A lot of people are like, it's not showing that it's paid. Yeah, it's not going to show up until about noon your time. So don't panic if it's not there. But this has what you're getting with for the courses. You know, that extra dollar that we get paid. Okay, if you're doing a every other week payment, or yeah, here they are. If you're doing the every other week payment, this is where those are going to show up. They're going to show up in the second half of the month. Okay, so I've taught 34 classes so far this month. Okay, so I'm getting that extra dollar per class. That's the participation one. And then I'm getting 50 cents right now because I'm between 30 and 44 classes. Once I hit 45 classes, this bonus will change to $1 per class. Okay, but that's where the bonuses show up. And then, any other kind of, if you have um, if you have some incentives for trial classes, or for anything like that, they'll show up in these. Okay. All right. I think I've gone through enough here. You've seen plenty here. Okay, and I've probably confused you even more.
You've given me a lot of really great information, and
Good.
now I know I need to fix some things on my bio, and I hopefully that'll help me get some more
Good.
things.
I hope it will. That's the bio and the pictures and the video are the most important things to get your name out there. Now you can do some other things like advertising on Weibo. It's Weibo, Weibo. It's basically Chinese Twitter. Okay,
Okay.
they do not have access to Twitter or Facebook in China, but they do have Weibo, and you can set up an account on Weibo and advertise yourself there. Post your pictures,
Okay.
and then put everything. Book a class with me, teacher Andrea GK, VIP, and tag it with VIPKid and VIPKid teacher, and then post your video, post your pictures, make a video of you reading a children's book. A simple children's book, and post that on Weibo, and then book a class with me, teacher Andrea GK. Always put that GK so that they don't they don't book some other teacher Andrea. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, Weibo is a great, and I did some of that at the beginning. I don't know if it helped or not. I haven't done any for ages since I'm booked, but it worked. But that did work when I first started. So okay. All right, Andrea, I appreciate you you letting me do this. And if you are watching this on YouTube, thanks so much for joining us. Be sure and join our group for hired teachers, VIPKid Teachers Hired. I'm going to put the link here so that you can find it easy. But Andrea, good luck to you. Please let me know as soon as you get your first booking so that I can help you through that. And I'm going to be available. I'll still be able to get to Facebook and everything while I'm in China. So you can message me. And if you can't get a hold of me, post in the hired group and tag Susan or Gayla, and they can help you as well in there. So okay.
Thank you so much for your help.
Thanks, Andrea. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm so excited. So,
be safe. Be safe.
Oh yes, that's it. And of course, there's a hurricane headed for China now.
Oh,
yay, fun! But it's going to be hit southern. I'll be up north. It won't hit me. So anyway, all right. Good night, Andrea. Bye bye.